Gonna make the profiles boom, 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 boom. What it is, I'm gonna tell you what it is today on Gunner's Profiles. What it is real life, real talk by a real one who really did that shit. What it isn't is added preservatives, none of that. Dun, 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 dun. No bananas and no tailpipes. Order the axofolia. We ain't doing that shit around here. Order the Balki Bartakamus. We ain't no perfect stranger. We're real life, homes. Now trip out. As you can tell by the thumbnail right there, yes, indeed, I'm about to write graffiti on the bus. For those of you that don't know, you're going to know by the time I'm done with this spill. Norteño riders, the northern riders, the certified riders, the riders, whatever they call themselves, they are now starting, and not starting, they've been doing it, homes, but extensively now, recruiting ex-Southsiders, vatos from the South. Oh, you didn't know? You better ask somebody on Paru. These vatos are going out of their way to do it all day from the valley to the Bay. Now trip out, and all the way to LA, I guess. They're actually recruiting ex-Southsiders. Now, back in the days, you had your traditional dropout gangs, okay? That formulated wherever they formulated. Some on main lines, some, of course, in general populations, some on SNY yards or protective custody yards or whatever the case you may be, however you want to call it, like an alcoholic. They formulated, okay? They started out of oppression, or they started because they still had that gangbang mentality and they still wanted to be part of the action, or they just started to bully people on the yardas. Whatever the case may be, man, they all have their historia, they all have their history, and they all have their reasons behind the reasons they do what they does, cuz, right? But on 55th Street, what you have are some motherfuckers that decided that for no other reason they should cross barriers, they should cross líneas. Now, the traditional gangs, we're talking about traditional homes. You have the four organizations, the big time organizations. And of course you have gangs like the Norteños, the Sureños or Southsiders, right? Depending upon how you call them. Latin Kings, Crips, Bloods, Kumis, Jamas, 415s, the Woods, the Skinheads, Nazi Lowriders, whatever. And of course the Asians, you got to give them their love. You got a lot of these different gangs that have been established and around and have their lines drawn in the sand, and where they are, cuz, is where they're gonna be, cuz, you know what I mean, on Power. That's where they stand. And ain't not gonna switch it up, ain't not gonna change it. You know, some of them might be at guerra, some of them might not. Some of them it might be wartime and it's go time, you know what I mean, don't sleep time. And some of them are like Charlie Holmes, it's half 60, it's respects, it's, you know what I mean, it's rest time. Let's chill. But for the most part, gangbanging is gangbanging and everyone knows where they stand. Okay, when it comes to these dropout gangs, it's a little pinchy different. Just a little bit fucking different, right? These guys have decided that for no other reason, they should cross the líneas, the traditional lines of north and south and east and west, and basically recruit whoever they feel that's worthy of their cause, whoever they feel benefits them to gain more manpower and more soldados. Now, when the Norteño Riders started, the Northern Riders, by Badass Snoop de Sacra, what you had was a disgruntled employee. Basically, somebody who was part of a group already who decided that for no other reason he was not going to take the dictation of another man anymore. He was going to go against the grain and do his thing. And a lot of us that are on this channel right now, you know the story. You know Badass Snoop's story. If you don't, Google it. That's it. I ain't got all the time in the world to speak on it today. But Snoop felt that if for no other reason, he should go solo bolo like a sideways leaning cholo without drinking V8 and do his own thing. And of course, he had a mass recruitment where he recruited a lot of youngsters and a lot of people that weren't really up to par, up on game. Initially, they decided that this guy was very charismatic, had a good mouthpiece, and they went his route, man, and went up under his philosophies, right? His philosophies being, man, we're our own men, and we'll do what we does, and that's what it is, right? And people, they like that. They grasped it and they ran with it. Now, at the same time, a lot of people that were still in general population or active Norteños felt like that was some poop butt shit. They felt like, hey, if you chose to fucking go over there, homes, and leave this, that's like going from the majors to the minors. Why would you do that? You know what I mean? That's Ozzy Canseco to Jose Canseco. You feel me? You know what I mean? Not that good to really that good. That's food stamp to $1. You know what I mean? Damn near, but not really. And that's exactly how they felt. So everyone had their own interpretation of what was really going on. But for the most part, Snoop kept it Northern California. That's why he grasped that concept of Northern Riders. They were riders from up north, right? Basically, they were a spinoff of the Norteños. They were basically non-active Norteños or Norteños that went against the grain, maybe were ridiculed, maybe were oppressed, or maybe just fucking went over there because they were scared to hit a línea. You know, I'm just going to keep it real. There was everyone had their own different story. Everyone had their own different reason why they ended up being what they were. But that's just what it was. Now, me, I was on the outside looking in, watching everything. So I was getting like, fuck that, Holmes. I'm just a non-active Norteño, man. I'm going to continue to push, pull, and strive for what I believe in. And that's working out and getting the fuck out to my familia and being brown and broke, right? Or hopefully getting a bag. So that was me. Okay, but you had a lot of twists and turns and a lot of people going on, depending upon what yard you were on and however that went. Now, I know that traditionally the Northern Riders were pulling their pull from a lot of non-active Norteños that felt slighted and were done dirty, or people that they could just fucking get in their mind and ingrain their fucking indoctrination into their head and their philosophies and pull them. You know, they were pulling people. They were recruiting people. That's what it is. In the gang life, it's all about recruiting people. If people are feeling the agenda, if they're feeling the vibe, the canalismo, the estilo, then they're going to go that route. That's just what you can't stop it. Say it with your chest, Wes. You can't. There ain't no way, man. If a motherfucker wants to go that way, Holmes, says, let's get on down the road, Jack. You know what I mean? They're going to go that way. And there's nothing you, I, or anyone could do to stop them. Okay? Especially with these younger influenced people. They're against the grain as it is, man. Kids are born against the grain. They come out like, Sasuke, Playboy bunnies tattooed already behind their ears and shit. They're already with that shit. And that's just how it is. You know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what's right and what's wrong and what's right with it. I'm here to tell you, Sasuke, everyone is entitled to their own opinion in life. And if you're going to be a gang member, do what you does. Because, man, just remember at the end of the day, man, you'll be sorry if you hit that wrong block, man, and the fool pulls out the Glock, makes it happen, and gets it to cracking. That's a fact. And hats getting flattened when you were fucking with the wrong motherfucker that's down for the boom batting. You know what I mean? And just facts. Now, like I said, the recruiting base was Northern California. But what you have probably in these last few years is the Northern Riders decided that for no other reason, they should change their name from Northern Riders to just Riders. Now, there was a reasoning for that. In the gang life, everything comes with a reason behind it. It's not just do it, wake up one morning, gotta get up, I gotta get going, I'm gonna change this name of mine. But they don't just change the nombre, the name, because they can, right? Or they will. They do it because there's a reasoning behind it. There's an answer to the question. And the question today was, how can they fucking get more manpower? Or how can they utilize these guys that are from down south that basically were in the same position as they were? They were dropouts. They were no longer part of their barrios. They couldn't go back to their barrios. They were not gangbanging. Yet they still had it in them. They still had the bestia in them. They still had the beast. They still had that savage. They still wanted to be part of something and have canalismo. Okay? And I think it all depends upon what yard you're on, man. If you're kicking it, and when you get to these S and Y yards or some of these non-active 50-50 yards or whatever, a lot of vatos get to conversating and start to fucking understand that, hey, you know what I mean, without putting poison out there, because I'm not that type of individual, that, you know, hey, Sasuke, maybe that wasn't for us. Maybe this is for us. Maybe we should try something new. Maybe we should fucking stop and press rewind and try to start over. And a lot of these guys want to start over, but being down south, they were kind of put into a caja where there was a box. There was down south dropout gangs like the 2-5ers, independent riders, and so on and so forth that they could become involved in. Now you have the Zapatistas and other gangs. So there was gangs that they could fucking pick from. So I don't know, do I want a tangerine, a peach, or a plum? You know what I mean? Boom. Whereas in Northern California over here, you had the Northern Riders, and of course you had Nuestra Cosa, and then you have whatever else you have. I don't know, fucking New Flowers or whatever. I don't even put New Flowers into that category, but you know what I'm saying. So what happens is these vatos decided that for no other reason, at the dictation of one badass Snoop, if they changed their name, that changed it from Northern Riders just being up north to now Riders, anybody. And they started to recruit people from down south, people from the LA area, Inland Empire, Riverside area, all that. Simon, I know, I Spencer la tira. I know there's a lot of vatos like, fuck that, hey gun, don't do us like that. I did, bro. You know what I mean? I didn't mean to, but it'd be like that sometimes. Spencer, Holmes, I'm just brown. Don't blame me, right? I'm just telling you the story, Holmes. Whether you grasp it and run with it is up to you. But it's facts. They actually started to recruit vatos from down south. So now I've had the privilege, I don't even know if you call it a fucking privilege, but I've laid my eyes on a couple rosters a few times that was sent to me, or people fucking let me see it. And there's a lot of vatos from down south, homes, that are now considering themselves riders. Now, what are they going to do with it? I mean, if you're on an SNY yard, you're on a yard with a whole bunch of your comrades, your camaradas, your homeboys anyways. Of course, you guys are going to be deep. You guys are going to be applying pressure on them yards. You're going to be pushing up on Knacks and J-Cats and fucking chomos and weirdos. And that's to be expected. That's going to happen whether you're a fucking gang member or not. Them type of individuals get pushed up on. You know what I mean? Actuals and factuals. You know what I mean? Pay where it ain't. But they decide that for no other reason, having backings and being a group, man, puts them in a good position. But what happens when you move to a different fucking prison or a different yard of that? Because every yard is different. I've said it before, I'll say it again, just one more time. Say it with my chest. Every yard is different. Every yard got something going on. You might be the deepest on this yard, and then you get switched to another SNY fucking yard, and there's only two of you guys. Are you gonna still fucking hold your own, or are you gonna put a shirt on, Holmes, and bow down in the corner like the West Side Connect? Nah, you got to be the gangster, the killer, and the dope dealer, Holmes. No matter where you go, you got to put it down. Where was that fucking big dick energy, Holmes, when he was over there on GP? You could have did that there. But that's neither here nor there, right? Like I said, everyone has their own story. I have mine. So everybody has their own story, so I can't knock the next man for his. But at the same time, I'm just saying, though, you know what I mean? You explained it. The wind's blowing. You could yeah, I hold. Right? Anyways, you understand where I'm coming from, gente. Where was that energy at when that was popping? It's neither here nor there. Now, what I will say is they started to recruit from the South. And so what does that do? What is the ultimate goal of the Northern Riders or the certified riders or the riders or whatever they call themselves? I've talked to a lot of them. You know, there's vatos from my neighborhood, man, that are riders. We're going to get to that right now. I'm going to tell you exactly how we feel Merced about that shit, right? But there are vatos. And how do I feel about their situation? And what's their ultimate goals? What's their end game? You know, in gang life, in barrio life, you have an end game. If you're from a barrio, Holmes, the end game is to defend the barrio, Holmes. La primera es mi barrio, right? Number one, to defend your fucking household, defend your casa, defend your barrio, Holmes. Have love for where you're growing up, for the fucking soil where you toiled. You know what I mean? For where you were. See them vatos in my town, and you know I'm gonna put. I got to see y'all in the granca. Hold it down for your fucking, your area, your ghetto, your spot, your barrio, your neighborhood, your village, your fucking igloo, whatever it is that you fucking live in and dwell in, where you're dwelling in the lab 24/7 like JT the bigger figure. Hold it down for your shit, whether it be the Bay to LA, Holmes. I understand that. That's the end game. That's the results of what you got coming. Victory, total victory, Holmes. Now, if your end game is to get a bag and to prosper, well, I don't think you're going to do that gangbanging, Holmes. I don't think gangbangers have the time to really go out there and get paper, Holmes. They're too busy worried about other motherfuckers getting in their mix, Holmes, and eradicating the opposition. You know what I mean? Catching the ops lacking, slipping, they're falling, they can't get up. Now you get back on your feet so you can tear shit up. Shh, right? That's just what it be about like that sometimes. But, and I like but. No, Wes, when I say but, that doesn't mean put shit in your butt. I said but, right? But means there's always going to be repercussions for actions. There's always going to be something that happens. Hey, everything ain't fucking crimson and clover. Everything ain't all good all the time, man. Sometimes it does get a little grimy. It does get a little greasy. It does get a little sleazy. It does get a little funky, right? So expect it to get funky. Now, having vatos from down south, what's really going to happen? Active norteños can't even go establish down south, man, because barrios have everything sewed up, because the sur is so fucking, you know what I mean? Found doubled up, flags planted and found the foundation is real down south. And if active norteños, Holmes, that are really about that shit, really with that life, Holmes, really about that fucking whole gang life, right? Gang. If they can't go establish, and I'm not saying they can't, I'm saying that it's just not in their best fucking interest too, right? Because they're smarter and they don't work harder, right? They know what's up. If they're not doing it, what happens with these fucking non-actives that were in there? Oh, yeah, that's right, bro. It's all good. Riders, right? Playboy bunnies y todo, man. What happens when they get out? Are they going to go establish strongholds? Are they going to go establish footholds in these barrios? You guys want the answer? Fuck no, right? Fuck no. You know damn well. And I'm not shitting on the riders, man. Respects to the vatos, man. Like I said, I know it comes out that way, but I don't mean to lean like that. You know what I mean? I'm just leaning like a cholo. You know what I mean? You can't be mad at me. But I'm going to be honest. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. I'm telling you, fuck no with the capital F, right? Period. It ain't going to happen, gente. There's no way that fucking active fucking gang members can't go establish. Now, how the fuck are you guys going to go establish, right? So really, what's the benefits of it? In prison, I understand manpower. Soldados. The more people you have on your team, Holmes, the more your batting percentage goes up, right? The more home runs you can hit. But you have to think about the end game. You have to think about what happens later on in life, gente. You know, it's all fine and dandy if you want to join a prison gang and you want to be involved, Holmes, and you want to handle your business while you're in there. Simon, cabron, handle it. You know what I mean? Ain't no one handle your scandal, Vando. Ain't no one fucking mad at you. But remember, you have to get out. You got to get going. You're going to see some friends of mine. Orale. Ooh-wee. You don't want to see them type of friends because they're not going to fucking let you establish nada, Holmes. You're not even going to be able to go to Tommy Burgers and get you a big burger, Holmes, with that bullshit all tattooed all over you. Because motherfuckers are going to approach you and ask you, hey, what it is, blood, right? They're going to want to know exactly on power rule what time it is with these tattoos you have all over your fucking cara, all over your mascara, Holmes, and then they're going to whack you. Plain and simple. Or do even more horrible things to you. You know what I mean? So okay, we can't call it like an alcoholic. I just know, based on the history of gang life, it gets ugly. Now, I will say this. It's happening, though. It's happening in mass quantities where these Vatos from down south have decided that they want to fucking kick it with the Vatos from up north. Now, I say to myself, that's unity at its finest. That's no color barriers. That's no color line. Vatos ain't tripping because they're no longer part of that imaginary line. They're no longer part of that north and south. But they're still gangbanging. You can't win, right? You're still involved in gang membership. You're still pushing that agenda. Yet it's even worse now because now you're pushing an active, non-active agenda, which is really what it's coming down to nowadays in this gang life. It's becoming slowly but surely, right? Non-actives versus actives. We see it. You know what I mean? GP versus SNY. We see it. You know, putos and poop butts versus fucking the guys who, you know what I mean, are doing their thing. We see it. To what degree of on what side is poop butt? I can't call it, right? There's poop butts from everywhere. But you know what I'm saying. Now, I just have always wondered, since I started first hearing it, what is to be beneficially gained from Vatos down south joining up with riders, right? Now, I'm not here to say don't do it. I'm not here to fucking put a stick in their spoke. So I'm sure they're doing that themselves, right? I'm just saying, what happens when they get out? See, people got to get out. And maybe some don't. Some are lifers. And to each your own. If you fucking got a couple camaradas that are fucking from the opposite side and they're cool. And, you know, hey, every fucking, like I say, every wiggle is different. But if you're going to fucking go out there and join a group that you know traditionally, man, automatically you're taking on their enemies. See, people don't understand that. They don't realize, or maybe they do. They just don't give a fuck, right? But I do. When you join a group or a gang that's already against the grain, that already has a lot, and I mean a whole lot, right, of opposition and a lot of enemigas, you take on that responsibility. Their enemiga becomes your enemiga. Their adversary becomes your adversary. Their motherfucking old lady. Does it work that way? No, their old lady doesn't become your old lady. But sounds good. One never knows this one. She could be, right? Sounds good. Mammon's for everyone. You just never know exactly what's going to go down, man, until real life hits you. Hit you with their best shot. Oh, yeah, it hits you with the best shot, right? It's going to hit you with the best shot. You know, and especially if you're down south, how do you explain the Playboy bunny on your face? Do you say you're from Playboy's just saying you front? Because you're not, right? So I don't understand. Again, a lot of these individuals are probably looking at this and saying, who gives a fuck? Gun, we're doing us. Worry about yourself. I am. I'm going to worry about myself. I just thought it's something I put out there because it's something I saw that was peculiar. Word of the day. Do I say it right? I don't think I do, but I say it anyways. Peculiar, right? It's peculiar, right? Or however the fuck you say it. I'm brown. I can't pronounce everything. But I try. You know, it's peculiar. The way that people are joining these gangs, man, because I think it benefits them at that time, but they're not thinking about the future. That's like a motherfucker with a big ass stack of money. He's spending. He's not thinking about the next day, and then he's like, damn, I forgot to get fucking carne. You know what I mean? What am I gonna eat? You know what I mean? Eat the hat, bitch, you just bought. You know what I mean? So I bet you it don't taste good, Holmes, but it's still something, right? That's just how life is, man. You worry about living daily instead of worried about the future. See, I'm more banked on my future, man. I live day to day, Holmes, but I don't play, man. I'm thinking about me, myself, my kids, my children's future, Holmes, the familia's future, and the raza's future. And I just see this as because it's a raza situation, whether it be active or non-active, Holmes, when I see the raza putting themselves in a certain situation, I'm going to call it like an alcoholic and be like, damn, bro, what the fuck, right? Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing for North and South on any front, on any level, to join up and to show solidarity and canalismo. Of course, that's a great thing. But at the end of the day, it's like, fucking, how does that work, bro? You know, how does that work? You join a fucking dropout prison gang, you're going to get out. You already can't go back to your neighborhood. Fuck. Now you can't go to any neighborhood. The shit got ugly. I mean, it got worse. Anyways, just thought of something I bring your attention to. They've been doing it, man. They're doing it in mass now. It's happening a lot. And I think everybody's just getting their soldados ready for guerra. The revolution will not be televised. Or maybe it will be. I don't know. Either way, I got a fire stick that jailbroke, so I'm going to watch it. Bang, bang. And the winner is, I'm brown. Like I said, it broke. I got to do what it does. Anyways, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you fucking want coming to you. If you don't got it, go out there and get it. If you don't know how to get it, Well, fuck, I'm not going to hold your hand. Spence, I'm not a babysitter, Holmes. I'm a YouTuber. I don't know what it is that you got to do, but just go out there and try. You know what I mean? Dust yourself off and try again. And it is what it is. Please go out there and get it for your familia because only you can. If you like this, please hit that like and subscribe one time. Gunners Profiles for your mind. Go tap in with Gunners Collective where I get my Boom Bangladesh on. If not, and you don't like me and you just don't like the way I get down, you think I'm a poop butt, you think I'm some type of sucker or whatever, okay, some think that. Hit the fucking thumbs down then. Heavy as the head, then where's the crown then? You know, I'm going to continue to do what I does because it be like that sometime. And I'm going to say it with my chest while doing it. On crib.